Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Papa's Saw Shop. I'm Papa, and today I just first of all, I wanted to welcome everybody back, and been a while since I made one of these videos, and main reason being I've just been busier than an 8-day clock around here, and about 6 weeks ago I had a full shoulder replacement on my left side here, so that kind of laid me up for a little bit. I still worked through it, but of course I was on some light duty, but it takes a little more than that to get me down. But anyway, I'm pretty much up 100%. If you want advice on a shoulder replacement surgery, what to do afterwards, I'm no doctor and I'm no physical therapist, but if you subscribe and like and all that down there and add to the comments down there, then I'll be happy to give you my insights on how I got through it. So if anybody out there going through that little chapter in life, I'll be more than happy to share how I got through it. So it wasn't too bad. But anyway, so I kind of wanted to share a few things today. I'm trying to stay in the camera here. I notice there's a light right behind my head back there, and I'm trying to keep from having a halo, because we all know I don't deserve one of those. But anyway, I kind of wanted to share with everybody a little bit about these Oldgoat saws and what I put into them. I mean, you've seen all the videos already about how they're built and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of want to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes kind of thing, a little bit. First of all, I'd like to tell you that we're just a huge factory out here with hundreds of employees and all that. And the fact is, inflation has hit us all, and worker shortage has hit us all. And when it comes right down to it, right now today, you're looking at him. So I do the building, I do the fabrication. I'm pretty much the brain work behind all this kind of stuff. And to reveal the man behind the curtain, I'm pretty much it. So, and I'm not bragging by any means. There's nothing to brag about. I mean, because basically the Oldgoat chainsaw came out of me being tired of fixing and repairing the newer saws. And so, first of all, I'm going to get long-winded here, so I'm going to warn you ahead of time. First of all, let me tell you what an Oldgoat chainsaw is. Okay, let's break it down into brass tacks. So basically, what is an Oldgoat? I can tell you what they're made of, and I can tell you all the stuff I put into it and all that kind of stuff. But basically, I work on stuff every single day out here in my shop. I just got a little shop here in Milwaukee, Oregon, and nothing fancy. But I work on a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And so I work on old stuff. I work on old McCulloughs, old home lights, and as well as a brand new steel. I got the computer stuff. I can work on the new steel stuff and Husqvarna's, you name it. I work on all of it. And not only that, I got a full repair shop here, and I'll show you here in a sec. But I mean, I work on everything from generators to tillers to mowers to chainsaws to, I got a golf cart out here that we're doing a bunch of work on. So basically, what is an Oldgoat saw? An Oldgoat saw is a saw built by an old man, that'd be me, that I try to put everything I know from basically 45 years of working on small engines and saying what works and what doesn't work. And so I'd like to tell you that I put a ton of money into these things. Not really. I put stuff in here that I know is going to work. And I'm proud of what I put together. And so for me to put my name on it, for me to put my goat sticker on it, I want to know it's going to work. That means something to me. I'm proud of that. And so I'm going to show you this goat here in a second. But basically, I build the case, and then I build the cylinder head, and every single cylinder head gets carved out to my patented design. I don't have a cast for it or anything like that, because I want to make sure that every single one is exactly the way I want it. And you might say, you know, you can do a cast and you'll make them all the same. Really? I beg to differ. Because if I have, well, let's just say I got this piece of paper with some writing on it, and this is the original, and if I make a copy of it, that copy is not the original. And if I make 100 copies of this, number 100 is 100 less than the original. Is it the same? Yeah, pretty much. I don't want pretty much. I want the original. I want every saw to be the original. I want you to get a saw that you know is the original. It's not a copy. It's not a copy of everything else. It's the original. I have touched and molded every single part in this saw. The stickers are not a copy. Each sticker is handmade by my granddaughter. She's got a machine back here that she makes them, and she carves these things out, every single one, meticulously. And so every cover has been colored or dyed or whatever, and then it's been soaked in a polycarbonate that makes that cover a little bit tougher than what it used to be. And every single cover is treated separately. We don't do 50 at one time. If you buy an Oldgoat saw, your cover is cooked and treated by itself, because that cover is the original. This engine is the original. This case is the original. Everything that I'm putting into it, I've had my hands all over it. So every single part of every single saw is the original. So, having said that, every single screw that I put into these things are put in there as if I'm building my own personal saw. As if it doesn't quite feel right on the third turn, I stop, take it out, rethread it, weld it, whatever I got to do. Weld the hole back in there, drill the hole out, and rethread the hole. That's what it takes. That's what we do. Because that case is the original. So, now having said that, did we run into that too much? Nah, not really. But flywheels they've got a little curve in them. I put those curves in them, personally. I heat up every one of these things, and I do all this stuff myself. And your saw has been touched by me every single place on it. So after I get done building it and I get it started, then I send it out with a local crew, tree cutting crew. I'm not just going to send you a saw and say, well, it ran in the shop. That's not good enough. You're going to use this thing to go to work. You're going to use this thing to make money. I want to know that when you get this saw, it's going to run. It's going to operate. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this thing around for you, and I'll show you this saw that I'm working on. Hopefully it's not going to shut the camera off. No, it didn't. Okay, so this one is almost ready to be shipped out. And so the soon-to-be owner of this saw emailed me earlier and he said, I don't understand. What? You said it's going to take a little bit for cleaning. What could possibly take a while for cleaning? Well, this saw here, I'm going to show you the inside of it here because I've just got done cleaning it. This saw has spent the last about 4 weeks being used every single day out with a crew. Can you tell it? You see any dirt in there? No, that'd be because I removed every single piece back out of here and cleaned it. Look at that top shine. Yeah, that's because I just buffed it all out, cleaned it all out. I should have showed it to you when it was all dirty. Still got a little crud in there. I still got to clean out some of the dust holes yet. I blasted it earlier with the blaster. But, so this looks pristine. Because it is. Because I've removed every single one of these things and polished them by hand. And then put the grade 8 screws, nuts, and bolts all back in it again. And so, and I'll have to make a video of, I still got some bolts I got to put in the muffler yet. I'll have to make a video of one of these before, you know. It just occurs to me that you get to see when it's clean and not when it's dirty. But it takes me quite some time. And while I'm doing that on these, again, I'm all by myself here. And here's a line of girls that's waiting to be worked on. And there's a generator. And oh, by the way, there's a truckload that just got brought in, carload, basically, that just got brought in. And so I'm doing all those too. So, and here's my automatic chainsaw starter that I'm working on building. That should be built here pretty soon. But here's another Oldgoat that's just about headed out. Just needs a handle, and there's a G66 that they're getting an upgrade on. But and here's some Oldgoats that are all in different stages of build. But and then there's half the shop, and here's some more Husqvarna. That's on the Husqvarna bench over there. So that's a couple saws that are getting built. So anyway, I'm trying not to make this too doggone long because I've had a bad habit of being winded on these things. Oh, there's just nowhere to get out of that doggone light. How about right there? Yeah, we'll try that. Oh, jeez, maybe not. Maybe if I put it up against my grill. Oh, there we go. I can be between two lights. So, anyway, first of all, if you've ordered an Oldgoat chainsaw, I just want to, I'm going to first of all tell you that I appreciate the business. Secondly, I really appreciate your patience. I know you guys are out there trying to make money, and you're trying to order a saw, and you're trying to get it in a timely fashion, and I deal with a shortage of good help, and then a shortage of supplies and whatnot, and I had another question to come in that they said, well, why don't you give an estimated date? You know, why don't you narrow it down and say, okay, you'll have your saw on this date? Well, again, I'm a lone wolf over here, and again, it's not a pity party. It's nothing like that. I'm just telling you the facts. All right. I'm trying to get you a good quality saw that's going to last. That's my goal. My goal is not to rip anybody off. My goal is I'm not in this to rip people off. I'm not in this to lie to anybody or steal or cheat or anything like that. My goal is to sell a good product, because I see so many crappy products come across my bench. I feel the frustration that you guys have out there, and girls, operating stuff that breaks for just a stupid reason. And so that's why I handle and rehandle every single part on these things. That's why I send them out in the field, and I test them first before I send them out. And I'll be honest with you, things happen. You know, I've had a couple of these that they go out in the field and the guys run them and they seem to run great. And I get them in here, I polish them all up, start it up, and it dies. Start it up and it dies. And I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, now it's on the repair bench. I got to repair it before I send it out. If I had not sent that in the field, if I would have just thrown it in a box, things would have been fine, except when it broke down on me here in the shop, that would have been you. It would have broke down on you. So I'd rather that you're a little frustrated because you don't have your saw yet than if you get a saw and it breaks down as soon as you get it. I see way too much of that stuff with other brands. And so I do everything I can, everything I possibly can to make sure that doesn't happen to you. And so the problem is, if you put in an order for a saw and I say, okay, 6 to 10 weeks, you'll have it. 2 weeks, you'll have it. I can give you a best guess. I can say, okay, well, I think if everything goes right, then you'll have it at this day. But if I get a truckload of saws that come in, and I got to work on those, and I didn't get a chance to work on your saw, I'm sorry. But I will work on your saw just as soon as I possibly can. I promise I will. But you're not buying something from a convenience store. That's not the purpose of these saws. I'm not trying to get something out as fast as I possibly can. That's not it. If you're looking for a saw that you want somebody just to throw it together and get it out the door, don't buy a saw from me. Because that's not what we're doing here. That's not what I'm doing. I'm putting my care into every single part of this saw. And if something doesn't work right for you when you get it, I want you to let me know. Say, hey, Papa, everything was fine except for this. Or the damn thing didn't work at all. I had one guy that got a saw, been a while back now, but he called me up and said, hey, it's a doggone thing, it ran great, now it doesn't. We looked through everything, and it turned out he had a couple of screws that, for whatever reason, I guess because I'm human, that didn't get sealed. It didn't get Loctite put on the screws. Screws came loose. It's on the cylinder head. It rattled the cylinder head loose. So now I got a little note up here. Check cylinder head screws. And you'd think I build them every day. You'd think you'd never forget. You forget on one. One is too many. And so now I don't forget ever. I always look at my notes. And there may be people out there say, oh, wow, professional, I never forget. Well, I guess that must be great to be perfect, because I'm not. but I try my hardest to go over every single nut and bolt and screw before you get these things in your hand. And that's why I put that 3-year warranty out there. Should last 3 years. If you build a good product, it should last. It should last 10 years. So that's a couple of answers to the questions I've got. Oil's another. And I know I'm getting a little long-winded here, but I want to try and cover everything. Oil's another thing. Why do you insist on AMSOIL? And I got to be a little careful here because I'm not going to talk bad about anybody else. I've been using AMSOIL for years. If I knew that there was another product out there that worked in these saws as well as this particular oil does, I'd recommend it. I'm not married to any one particular product, but if it works, then that's what I insist on using. I have seen these saws. I've seen Oldgoat saws literally vibrate themselves apart using other top quality oils. And you can say, well, it's a full synthetic. Well, it's not this. And I'm not advertising AMSOIL. Nobody pays me to advertise any damn thing. Be nice if they did, but they sure don't. It's just that I built this saw. I put every nut and bolt in this saw. I'm telling you, this is what works in the saw that I've built. Now, if you say, you know what, I'm going to use my own oil. Great, use your own oil. You don't need my warranty then, because I put every nut and bolt in there. If you want me to stand behind every single nut and bolt that I've put in there, and you want me to stand behind this product that I've built, I know what works in my product. Don't assume that you know more than I do when I'm the one that built the damn thing. So, I don't mean to be cross or anything like that, but I've just had people go, oh, you're just trying to sell me oil. No, I'm really not. I really don't sell AMSOIL. I mean, we sell it here in the shop, very small quantities. I'm not going to tell you what I made for a commission, but I can tell you it wasn't over $10 in the last year. And I'm not talking bad about AMSOIL or anybody else. It's just that I don't push it that hard. It's just that if you want to buy AMSOIL from your local dealer, do that. I don't care. Just show me that that's what you did. But I want you don't have to buy it from me. Just if something happens to the saw, that's the first question I'm going to ask. What oil did you put into it? AMSOIL? Okay, can you prove it? No. Okay, well then I guess we're done here. Because I know what works in my saw. Steel will tell you, and again, I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but they say, hey, you want a warranty, you use our oil. And I mentioned Steel, but I mean, Husqvarna, whoever, I mean, if you buy a product, they're going to tell you what they prefer you to put into it. If you don't, well, you pretty much own it. It is what it is. Don't call me. So we AMSOIL does have a certain quality about their oil that when you send me your saw back, if you send a saw back and you say, hey, this thing is not running right, I think it blew up and I've been doing everything, I can crack this thing open right away. I know exactly what oil you've been using. I can tell right away. And I'll, if it hasn't been AMSOIL put in it, and that's what we tell you to use, and you're trying to pull a fast one, we're gonna know right away. So anyway, there's that. And you can run 50 to 1 in these things, or you can run 100 to 1 of AMSOIL. No other product can you do that with, but you can do 100 to 1 with AMSOIL. I do it all the time in these things, and they purr like a kitten. I recommend 100 to 1 Sabre AMSOIL. I don't have one of them here, but yeah, we don't have any problem with them whatsoever. And you guys run these things forever, and they don't have any problem at all with it. But if you use anything else, I don't care what it is. I don't care what full synthetic oil you're running into it. You put anything else but AMSOIL in it, have a nice day. Your warranty's no good with me. I built the saw. I know what works, and that's what works. So that answers a few questions about all that. The decompression valve on the top of the saws. Now, some of them don't have a decompression button, and most of them anymore do have The reason that we don't run those in some of these saws, and you're free to put one in there if you don't have one. These things have a whole lot of compression. And if you're a guy, an old guy or a little guy that, you know, has some shoulder issues and you can't crank these beasts, yeah, put one in it. If it makes you feel better, put one in it. I'm not against that. The reason that we sometimes don't put them in here is because, honestly, and I've had 1,000 people tell me, oh, buy this brand and you'll never have a problem. This brand, bull. The fact of the matter is, if I put 2 decompression valves in a run of saws, and generally a run of saws for me is about 10 saws. If I put decompression valves in all 10 of those saws, and I have one that fails, then I take them all out of that run and I plug them all up. Because if one failed, there's a good chance that the other 9 is going to fail too. So I would rather that if you have a decompression valve and you want to put it in, when you get it, great. But I'm not going to send you something that has a 50% chance or a 10% chance of failure. That's just how picky I am with this stuff. And so that's the reason, if you get one of these and you don't have a decompression valve in it, that would be the reason. Packaging. So when you get these saws, they're not any kind of fancy packaging. First of all, I try to sell these things just as cheap as I possibly can. I'm not trying to make $1 million off these things. I'm not trying to rip anybody off. I'm just trying to build a quality product. And I could spend $100 on a box and have my label all over the front of the box, and I just transfer that cost to you. Or I could just ship it a regular box, and when it comes to your front porch, maybe it says, I don't know, Skittles on the front of it or some stupid thing. And so first of all, keeps the porch pirates at bay. You can buy a microwave down to the local 5 and dime for literally $5 or $10 for a used one, where they could swipe yours off your front porch. Well, it's not a microwave inside, it's actually a $1,000 saw. They don't know that. I think it's a microwave. They got 2 of them already. Why do they need another one? So chainsaws are, if it got sent to your front door with a great big old orange or red sign or some stupid thing that said, look at me, I'm a big fancy chainsaw. Well, somebody might just be tempted to swipe it right off your front door. And so that helps with keeping the cost down, and it helps from keeping the unrulies away from your front door. I think that's about all I got. But picking my teeth here. I got a piece of beef jerky in my teeth. There. Anyway, well, you watch a Papa's Shop video, you're liable to see anything. So anyway, I'm going to get these saws ready and get them shipped out to this very, very patient gentleman that's been waiting forever. And if you're waiting for a Papa saw and you're waiting forever, again, I appreciate your patience. If you're unhappy with anything about it, you let me know. If I got to send you a part for it, you know, whatever we got to do, I'll do whatever we got to do to make it right. Our return policy. So here's the deal. I'll go over this one thing. Our return policy. So you get a Papa saw, and for whatever reason, I don't like it, whatever. So, again, I'm not a huge outfit. I put all I got into these saws. I'm just a one guy working in a little shop and trying to do the best I can to get you a good product. If you don't like your saw, you send it back to me. I'll do whatever I can to fix whatever needs to be fixed. If if it's something that you can fix right there with a couple screws, I'll send you the part for free. That's no problem at all. If you just want your money back, great. You let me know. And to be frank, I don't have that kind of money laying around. I don't think anybody does right now in this kind of economy, but we're not going to get into politics here. That'll take us forever. But what I will do, there are people waiting in line to get these things. If you're not happy with it, you let me know. I will sell your saw to somebody else. You get it sent back to me. I will get it sent. I will get it sold. You get the proceeds from that. That's the best I can do. Now, most places will say, send the product back. We will send you your money. That's pretty much what I'm telling you here. You don't like it, you send the product back. I'm going to send it out. I'm going to resell it. And then when that comes in, I will send you your money directly. And you can say, well, how do I know you're going to? Because you have my word, that's why. Because you paid for a saw. I shipped a saw, just like I said I was going to do. I'm not going to lie to you about this either. I'm not in the business of ripping people off. If you don't like that arrangement, then sell it. I mean, we're not selling these things for a pile of money. You can certainly get your money back out of them. So, anyway, take it or leave it. I sell these things not because I'm starving, not because I need the money to sell them, nothing like that. It's truly and honestly because I'm trying to build a little bit better product than what I see come across my desk every day. I'm trying to sell something that's going to last a little bit longer. And my money is certainly not in Oldgoat saws. That's not what pays my bills. My repairs are what pays my bills. I'm just trying to send out a good product, and I'm trying to get things to last a little bit longer, and trying to get you to not be so frustrated with your purchases. So anyway, I've talked your ear off long enough. I've talked enough to almost get hoarse. I'm going to have to get some ice water up here. So that's all I got. Till next time, be careful out there, and happy motoring.